Absolutely blown away, y'all. I've said that from the get go, from the whole COVID 19. I've been a registered nurse and I'm a board certified case manager for 25 long years. And I've treated everything under the sun from pediatric cases to geriatric cases to obese cases to heart attacks to strokes. I've worked my entire career in mostly acute care, trauma, ER, chest pain centers, stroke centers. Worked every department in a hospital, every department in a hospital except for surgery and OB. It's cold, and I don't like checking women's bottoms. So there you go. But other than that, I know my clientele very well, and I work to this day trying to keep these folks out of the hospital because of what I just witnessed. And, coming up through the system, I guess I should have known that it was rigged from the get-go. When I went to nursing school back in 1996 to 98, graduated in 98, I worked in the ER as an ER tech, and we had just built a new doctor's pavilion next to the hospital, and this was the University of Mississippi Medical Center. And right there in the pavilion, nice solarium, you look up at all these offices and whatnot. Right there in the middle of it was a McDonald's. And I literally would witness me and my colleagues, nursing students. Of course, we were eating there, probably shouldn't have been, but we would witness patients come out of the hospital through the double doors, IV pole in hand, and belly up for some supersized loving. And its root cause, again, as a board certified case manager, this is one of the things that we deal with: root cause, cost benefit analysis, yada, yada, yada. So, what I've seen professionally, ethically, and whatnot has just blown my mind. Everything that I learned in bioethics thrown out the window. In fact, there's been a bioethicist from the University of California who was fired for not wanting to take an experimental warp speed mRNA injection that doesn't stop transmission. Yada, 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 yada. I don't know where to go from here. Of course, the system's been rigged. This is the FDA that still lists cannabis and marijuana as a Scheduled 1 narcotic when everybody under the sun knows that's not the case. And cannabis has been used for medicine for years. The bottom line is they can't trademark it. And so you have the best democracy that money can buy, and it is still controlled by the big bank and the corporations. And it's still a colony of the British Empire. And that's what you need to know. And so you're basically serfs on land that you pay property taxes on. You own nothing and be happy. And they would like to carry this over, this model that they have set up in China. They would like to bring that to the United States and the world, to be quite honest. And it is the bankers, it is the people who work inside this system. Rothschild started this in Europe. The Rockefellers and the Carnegies got in on it with the Federal Reserve System. And since 1913, government's going up, dollar's going down, your freedom's going whoop. So it's where we are today. Everything Dr. Ron Paul tried to tell the American people was and is 100% true when it comes to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because ultimately, it has always been God, gold, goats, guns, title, or deed, and your health. And that's all a man really needs to be free on this terra firma planet Earth, third rock from the sun. So when a man and family have all that, a source of water and some goats and some land and some crops, that's basically liberty on earth, but fast forward into where we are today, everything's owned by the bank and the corporations that make and own everything. So go figure. Anyway, stay healthy. I hope we get through this. There's a big legal conference going on in Atlanta this weekend. And hopefully there'll be some lawsuits and hopefully there'll be some justice. I'm really upset with my senator here locally. They tried to get a bill through committee the other day with regards to these corporations that were firing people for religious exemptions over vaccinations, which is just absolutely mind boggling. Again, if you've received the vaccine and you're protected with your magic COVID force field, why on earth would you be concerned that I haven't been vaccinated or that I sneeze on you? If you got your COVID force field, COVID force field's up, dip, 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 then why would you care? And so it blows me away that the shareholders at the top and the BlackRock and whatnot can dictate to the little NBA to match the Beatles Association, and these guys are getting fines or whatever. This all started in 2013 because I watched it go down. I was in the emergency room when the little swine flu bug came through, and somebody rewrote the legislation that they were going to start mandating healthcare workers take their flu shot because a lot of people just said no. And so they came up with this scheme, and they started forcing healthcare workers to wear a mask or take the shot. It was coercion 101, totally against the Nuremberg codes, which I studied in bioethics when I was in nursing school. The Canadian nurses up in Ontario sued and won in arbitration twice based on the science, because the science says masks don't work. They don't stop respiratory viruses, flu, cold, whatever. Speaking of which, there are over 200 viruses that cause respiratory syndrome. And I got it right now. I got some drip going on. I can feel it in my ears. My body's fighting it. Is it COVID-19? Is it COVID-17? Is it RSV? Is it a cold? Is it the flu? I mean, your first question is, if I went up here to the minor med clinic and they swabbed my nose and they said, well, it's not COVID-19, you should ask that clinician, well, are you not going to swab me for the other 199 viruses that cause these same symptoms? And when that clinician says no, you look them in the eye and say, why not? It blows me away, y'all. Peace, love, eat right, exercise, stay out of the system. The system's broke. The United States ranks 68th in healthcare outcomes, 68th. And our life expectancy has fallen by 3 years. Go figure. A shoebox full of pills is not right for you. Sunshine, exercise, water, and organic food. But exercise is key. I just walked 5 miles. I'm going to get in the shower. I'm going to put my scrubs on. And I'm going to go see patients. And guess what I'm going to find those patients doing? Taking a shoebox full of pills, sitting in a lazy boy, and watching a big screen TV. Peace.